single stub matching பார்த்தோம். So then finally what is the limitation of single stub matching? So அப்போ single stub matching ல finally ஒரு formula derive பண்ணும். We have derived the formula. What is the location of the stub? What is the length of the stub? For example, um, if this is your transmission line, say this is your transmission line and it is terminated with the load impedance ZL. It terminated with the load impedance ZL. Okay, so terminated with the load impedance ZL, and you at some position you are connecting the stub in such a way that it is cancelling the reflection, and finally the impedance seen at that position from that position is like Z0. In such a way you are connecting the stub. Say if this is the position, okay, and again from this position you are connecting the short circuit stub. Okay, you are connecting the short circuit stub. So finally what is important, what is the length of the stub? Okay, what is the position of the stub? This will give you the position of the stub. Okay, the distance from the load to this point will give you the position of the stub, and this will give you the length of the stub. This will give you the length of the stub, and again your source Vs will be here. Okay, and the line will have some characteristic impedance Z0. Finally, we have derived the formula, the location of stub. Okay, so location of stub is equal to pi minus cos inverse divided by 2 beta, and then length of the stub is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi and tan inverse of root s divided by s plus 1. Okay, so the location of the stub depends on this parameter. Say pi, you know, pi can be calculated from K reflection coefficient. Okay, the angle made by the reflection coefficient, and this is reflection coefficient magnitude, and this is beta. Once if you fix your frequency, then beta is fixed because beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Once if you fix the operating frequency, then beta you can fix the wavelength, then beta is fixed. So finally the location of the stub depends on the reflection coefficient, mainly K. Similarly, the length of the stub depends on yes, okay, standing wave ratio, but standing wave ratio again depends on the reflection coefficient, but this reflection coefficient and standing wave ratio depends on what? ZL, because S comma K depends on ZL. Depends on what, sir? Depends on ZL. Why? Because the formula is like this, because K is equal to ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0, and S is equal to 1 plus mod K divided by 1 minus mod K. Now what happens in case of single stub matching? If you change ZL, if ZL is changed, what will happen? If ZL changed, what will happen? Anybody, what will happen? In case of matching, what we have to do? What will vary? Anybody, any idea is there? What will happen if you change the ZL? Already you have some ZL, you done impedance matching with some section of the line. Now if you change ZL, what will happen?
Position of the stub will.
Yes, both position of the stub as well as the length of the stub also will vary, because once if you change ZL, if ZL is changed, what will happen? K comma S will change. Okay, that in turn will change location of the stub. Okay, location of the stub and length of the stub. Okay, that will change the location of the stub and length of the stub. Once again, you have to remove this section. Okay, then you have to introduce, you have to remove this section actually. Then you have to identify the position. Okay, your position also will vary, and you have to vary the length of the section also, because we don't know what will be the length for the new load impedance. So, and again removing the transmission line and varying the section of the transmission line and all something difficult. That's why we are going for double stub matching. That's why we are going for double stub matching. Okay, this is the limitation of single stub matching. Okay, so we are going for double stub matching, but we are not going to discuss in detail about double stub matching. Okay, um, so because of this limitation, we are going to double stub matching. So what is the limitation of single stub matching? Limitation of single stub matching. Okay, it's very clear. If ZL is changed, if ZL changed, K changes. If K changes, S changes, then what will happen? So both, if S changes, both the location and the length of the stub changes. Both location and length of stub double stub matching is used. Double stub matching is used. Okay. Okay, next we'll address the question of why short circuit stub is used as compared to the open circuit stub. Okay, next we'll address that problem. Okay, why short circuit stub is preferred as compared to open circuit stub. As compared to open circuit stub. Okay, so the first I'll see what will happen once say for example, if you are having the transmission line, okay, see, if you are having the transmission line, already you are having transmission line, you are connecting some ZL. Okay, then you are making one stub that you are keeping it open. That is a concept of open circuit stub. Now just you think it of, okay, if you have open circuit, okay, already source is there, okay, you are having open stub. Actually open circuit means impedance has to be infinite. For this open circuit, whenever you have open circuit ZOC, okay, at load, exactly at the load impedance is actually, it should be infinite. But you know one thing, once if you terminate this stub in free space, you know the free space impedance, free space is the space between this terminal, actually the free space is here, you know the free space impedance is 377 ohm. What is the resistance provided by the free space at high frequency? That is 377 ohm. So we will be thinking we are having the stub with open circuit, but actually that stub is terminated with what impedance? 377 ohm, because you know the impedance of free space is always 377 ohm. So it is not possible to have a open circuit with ZL of infinite impedance, with ZL of infinite impedance. You are thinking that the impedance between these points is infinite, but actually practically the impedance is not infinite. That is something is equal to 377 ohm, because the free space itself can act as a some conducting medium like that, or it is having some impedance. Okay, that impedance is not infinite, 377 ohm. So that's why, so we cannot make a perfect open circuit. We cannot make a perfect open circuit. Okay, so yes, any hearing problem is there? Is it audible to everyone? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay.
Sir.
So, yes, sir. சொல்லுங்க மேம். எஸ் சொன்னீங்களா?
ஆமா சார், ஆமா.
Okay. So you cannot make a perfect open circuit. That open circuit with the impedance of infinite. See, even during the lightning and thunder also, that impedance is not infinite. You are thinking that if it is a free space, then impedance is infinite. But even with that, when you have very high voltage, so that will conduct. Okay, that's why the lightning and thundering and all happening. So under some condition that will not work. So it's not possible to have a perfect open circuit. Okay, that's why mostly we will not choose the open circuit stuff. So once if it is not providing perfect infinite impedance, then your circuit will not behave properly, and also it will not provide the perfect matching. Okay, when the stuff that you are introducing is malfunctioning, okay, that is not providing the infinite impedance at this open terminal, when it is not providing infinite impedance, then that will not provide the matching, so this is one reason why open circuit stub is not used. Okay, and one more reason is there, if you have the stub that is open, you know one thing, any open line will act as an antenna. Any open line, if your stub is open, you know that any open line can act as an antenna. Then what will happen? That particular section will start radiating. You know that any line conductor can act as an antenna, open circuit line. Okay, that can act as an antenna. So once if it is open, then the signal that is available here will start radiating in the air, So unwanted radiation will be present there, and also our circuit will malfunction. These are all the two reasons why open circuit stub is not preferred. Okay, generally always short circuit stub is preferred. These are all two reasons. Okay, so the first one is open circuit stub is not preferred because ideal open circuit is impractical to realize. Practically not possible, because when it is open, it is terminated with 377 ohm. It is terminated with 377 ohm. Okay, then one more problem is open circuit stub makes unwanted radiation. Because any open circuit line can act as an antenna. Open circuit line can act as the antenna. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, next we'll go for Smith chart. Next we will go for Smith chart. Okay. Okay, see, generally Smith chart is a 16-mark questions in a semesters, but don't neglect this portion, because in the competitive exam you will get question from Smith chart also. They'll ask basics of Smith chart, how the Smith chart is designed, what is the purpose of the Smith chart, what are all the Smith chart is made of what parameters, that and all you'll get questions in the exam, that kind of questions. Okay, so what is a Smith chart? Smith chart is a graphical tool that provides solution for any transmission line problem. Okay, solution for any transmission line problem. Okay, so Smith chart, it is a graphical tool that provide solution for any transmission line problem. Problem means here mathematical problem. Okay, problem means what? Mathematical problem, mathematical solution. Okay, you have transmission line equations, you have input impedance, you have stub matching, you have double stub matching. So once Smith chart you can very easily you can do. Finally, very easily you can do with help of Smith chart. Any transmission line problem, okay, without any limitation, any transmission line problem can be solved with help of the Smith chart. Generally, Smith chart of two types. One is impedance Smith chart and another one is admittance Smith chart. But in general, we'll discuss about the impedance Smith chart. Okay, that is available in our books generally. Generally, we'll discuss about impedance Smith chart. Okay, so that's actually how the Smith chart has been run. Okay, that's the way with the help of the impedance. And again, admittance Smith chart is also there. Okay, but we'll not discuss about that. Okay, but don't think that if it is impedance, then there is no admittance. Whenever impedance is there, you can calculate the admittance. Okay, so but the graph is drawn based on the impedance parameters finally. Okay, so Smith chart is a graphical tool that provides solution for any any transmission line, okay, without any limitation. Any problems can be solved with the help of the Smith chart. Okay, then Smith chart consists of circles. It is a family of circles. It is a family of circles. Okay, it is a family of circles. Okay, then that circle is called as, there are two types of circles. One is resistance circles, another one is reactance circles. Okay, one is resistance circles, another one is reactance circles. Okay, because at any point of time in the Smith chart, we can denote our impedance. Okay, see, at any point of time, impedance we can denote with help of R plus Jx. Okay, so R plus Jx. Okay, then we are having real part as well as the imaginary part. So once if you want to denote this Z on the Smith chart, then definitely you need two parameters. One to denote your real part, another one to denote your imaginary part. Okay, so generally there are two variety of circles. One is called resistance circles. One is called resistance circles. And another one is called reactance circle. Another one is called reactance circles. Okay, the resistance circle is R divided by 1 plus R, comma 0. Okay, once if you draw the resistance circle, what is the center of the circle? The center of the resistance circle is R divided by 1 plus R, comma 0. Then what is the radius? Okay, what is the radius of the circle? The radius of the circle is equal to this is Z equal to R plus Jx. The radius of the circle is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus R. 1 divided by 1 plus R. That too, or should be R is like a magnitude, 1 divided by 1 plus R. Next, again, you know, the resistance cannot be generally negative. Resistance is always positive. Then no need of put magnitude here. But when for reactance, the center of the circle is 1 divided by 1 by X. Okay, simply X. This X can be positive or negative. This X can be positive or negative. Then what is the radius of the circle? What is the radius of the circle? That is simply because radius cannot be negative. That's why 1 by mod X, 1 by mod X. Then what is Z equal to R plus Jx? Okay. See, in general, Smith chart, whenever you denote any point on the Smith chart, that is always normalized. Okay, any point on the Smith chart is always in the normalized format. Okay, the point on Smith chart is always normalized. Point on Smith chart is always in the normalized format, always in normalized format. Okay, then if it has to be in a normalized format, definitely what you should know for a particular problem, you should know what is Z0. Okay, what you should know what is Z0. That means what? Actually, what you are having after normalization, actually you will be having what, sir? Something like this. That means what? Already normalized with the Z0, but it is hidden always. Okay, whatever the impedance that you are drawing on the Smith chart, that is always normalized. So even if I am using the notation like this, Z equal to R plus Jx, what is the hidden meaning of this? This R is already normalized. Okay, because any point on the Smith chart is always already normalized. Okay, so R is always normalized and X is also already normalized. That means what? For a particular problem, you should know what is Z0. what is Z0. Then only you can find out the normalized impedance, normalized resistance value, and the normalized reactance value. Then only you can calculate these values. Okay, always normalized. Okay. Next, next we'll first try to draw the resistance circles. Okay, we'll first try to draw the resistance circles. Okay, now once if you draw the resistance circle with this parameter, say this is the center of the circle and this is the radius of the circle. Okay, so first we'll draw the resistance circles. Okay, resistance circles. And another name for this one is constant resistance circle. Okay, generally they used to call constant resistance circles. I'll tell you why it is constant. Why they are using the name constant, I'll tell you later. Okay, see, constant resistance circles. Okay, so what is the center point? So center point is R divided by 1 plus R, 0, and the radius. Okay, radius is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus R. Somebody tell me what could be the value of R? See, R means what? See, Z is equal to R plus J omega Jx. This is already normalized. Okay, this is already normalized. So what could be the value of, what could be the range of R? Can it be 0? Yes, anybody? Now my question is, what could be the range of R? Because once if I know range of R, then only I can proceed. Then only I can proceed. My R cannot be negative, but it can be 0 because the impedance can be only imaginary also. Without any resistance, you can have impedance only with the imaginary. Okay. See, this is in complex format. If R is 0, this is of only imaginary. This is of only imaginary. Now I am concentrating on R, but R cannot be negative because resistance can never be negative in general. Okay, so R is 0. Can R be equal to 1? Anybody? Yes, what is the meaning of this one, sir? Anybody? What is the meaning of this one? When R is equal to 1, what is that meaning? Can anybody tell this? When R is equal to 1. Yeah, very good. Yeah, when R is equal to 1, what is that meaning? That particular value is something same as characteristic impedance. Okay, then my R could be in between this also. My R could be 0.5 also. My R could be 1 also. My R could be 2 also. Okay, you are normalizing with the characteristic impedance. That's it. Okay, again, characteristic impedance can be anything. Okay, characteristic impedance can be anything. That means your R can go from 0 to infinite. Okay, what is the range of R? Your R can go from 0 to infinite. Your R can go from 0 to infinite. Okay, next what I have to do, I will take a value, some value, say first I will choose R equal to 0, then I will analyze what happens. Then some intermediate value, R is equal to 0.5, and then R is equal to 1, and then R is equal to 10. Okay, then it goes on like this. Once if I analyze this nature, then I can come to some conclusion. Okay, what is the nature of the constant resistance circle? What is the nature of the constant resistance circles? Okay, so now we'll proceed. So 0 divided by again 0, this is 0 comma 0, and radius is equal to when R is 0, radius is what? Radius is simply 1. Okay, what happens when R is equal to 0.5? 0.5, okay, divided by 1.5. What is the answer? 0.5 divided by 1.5? 1 by 3, comma 0. Okay, now what happens? 1 plus 0.5. Okay, 1 plus 0.5 is 1.5. Okay, so 2 by 3. Okay, radius is 2 by 3. When R is equal to 1, 0.5, comma 0. What is the radius? Simply 0.5. When R is equal to 10, 10 by 11, comma 0, 1 by 11. Is it okay, sir? When I vary my R, I am getting these values. Or extreme case also I can take when R is equal to infinite. Okay, infinite divided by infinite. Okay, then what I can take? I can take R outside. Okay, once if I take R outside, then Okay, because infinite by infinite is not possible. I take r outside. Okay, then 1 divided by 1 by r plus 1, then finally I will get 1. So this is 1 comma 0. When r is infinite, my center point is 1 comma 0. But when r I substitute infinite, my radius becomes 0. My radius becomes 0. Yes. இது புரியுதா சார் எல்லாருக்கும்? Once if you understand this, then I will draw the diagram now. Okay. Are you all getting this? R உடைய range எப்படி எடுக்கிறேன்? Then now I am finding out the center point and then radius. இதெல்லாம் புரியுதா இல்லையா?
Sir,
Yes, sir,
particular
சொல்லுங்க.
particular and value எடுக்க method இருக்கா?
இல்ல analysis purpose-க்காக தான் எடுக்கிறேன். You can take any value, no problem. Because I want to draw the Sumit chart nature. Sumit chart எப்படி இருக்குன்னு நான் diagram போட போறேன். So I am analyzing. Okay, but R can be anything in between 0 to infinite. Once if you understand this, then you will know what will happen. Okay, if R is more than 10, then you know the nature. Okay, once if you understand this, once if you put it in a diagram format, then later you will understand. Even if your R varies, then you will have idea. Okay, how will be the diagram like that? Okay, இதுதான் எடுக்கணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. Okay, so I will go next. I'll add the. So now, so first, what is our? See, I take the first one, 0 comma 0. Once you see, one thing is very clear here. Whatever may be your R, you keep on increasing your R, but what is the maximum radius that you are getting? Yes, sir. Anybody? What is the maximum radius that you are getting? The maximum radius is 1. Okay, see, even if you vary your R, let it be infinite also, but what is the maximum radius? That is 1. So the maximum radius is 1. And one more thing is also clear. And if you see, observe the center points, if you observe the center points, all the center points are residing on the positive x-axis, sir. Is it okay? See, if you think it as x comma y, all the points are lying where, sir? In between, sorry, only in the positive x-axis. So from this, one thing is very clear. Now I am going to draw the circles. The center point of all the circles will lie on only on the positive x-axis. Okay, positive x-axis will lie on only positive x-axis. Okay, so what is the observation? The observation from here is, இது புரியுதா பாருங்க சார், இந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாமே சென்டர் பாயிண்ட் எல்லாமே எங்க இருக்கு? பாசிட்டிவ் எக்ஸ் ஆக்சிஸ் தான் இருக்கு. ஸோ ஆல் சென்டர் பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் கான்ஸ்டன்ட் ஆர் சர்க்கிள் லை ஆன் only positive x-axis, Then after drawing the diagram, I will give you the one more conclusion. Okay, I will give you the one more conclusion. Okay, now first the first one is 0 comma 0 and the radius is 1. 0 comma 0 and then radius is 1. That is a bigger circle I have to draw. Okay, so for first case I have to draw the bigger circles. Okay, definitely for all other circles the radius is less. Okay, I will draw the smaller circles. Yes, sir. You are getting the circle, some circle. Okay.
Yes.
This is the, yes, this is what circle? R is equal to 0. Okay, this is R is equal to 0 circle. Because I am drawing it for R is equal to 0. When my R is 0, radius of the circle is 1. When my R is 0, okay, this is the bigger circle I am having. The radius of the circle is 1. Okay, it's like a reference circle. Okay, so this is my center point. This is my center point. The center point is 0 comma 0. With the center point, this is the radius 1. Okay, this is a bigger circle that I can have, because when r is equal to 0, 0 comma 0 center point and radius is 1. Next, I will draw the circle for third case, because second case is little bit difficult. Then I will tell you how to draw the second case also. Okay, I will draw the circle for second case. Second case you observe, third case. Third case you observe, when you have r is equal to 1, what is the center point? 0.5 comma 0.5, radius is 0.5. First you fix the center point. Center point is 0.5 comma 5. So this is the positive x-axis. So where it will be, sir? It will be somewhere here. Okay, it will be somewhere here. Then the radius is 0.5. Okay, then the circle will go like this. Okay, now I'll try to bring this one. Okay, wait. Okay, so this is what, sir? Now my center point is, because a lot of points will come, that's why I'm not denoting. What is this point value? For time being, I will denote. This is 0.5 comma 0. This is the center point. What is this radius? Because the entire radius is 1, the entire length is 1. But what is the radius of this circle? The radius of this circle is 0.5. Okay, with the 0.5 radius, I am drawing. With the 0.5 radius, I am drawing. Now, what is this circle value? This is for r is equal to 1. This is for r is equal to 1. Okay, then what will happen? What will happen next? If I increase my r, okay, if you observe here, if I increase my r, my point is moving towards right hand side. If I increase my r, my center point is moving towards right hand side, and my radius is decreasing. So what will happen? See, wait. Okay, so I will draw for another cases. Now this is r is equal to 1, and then one more circle I will bring. Okay, so I can put like this. Now, what could be the value of this r? I don't know, but definitely that is greater than 1. Definitely that is greater than 1. I can say, for simplicity, I'm telling this is like 10. Okay, see what is happening? As you are increasing your r, the circle is become more concentric. The circle is become, if I increase r is equal to 20, then one more circle will come inside this. When I increase beyond 20, then one more circle will come like this. It comes like this. Then finally, what is my final value? R is equal to infinite. When r is equal to infinite, what is my center point? 1 comma 0. What is my center point? 1 comma 0. What is my radius? That is 0. So finally, r is equal to infinite means you will get simply point, sir. Okay, are you all getting the idea? See, finally, when r is 0, you are on bigger circle. When r is equal to 1, this circle r is equal to 10, and again it goes like this. Finally, this is r is equal to infinite. So r is equal to infinite is a point, that is 1 comma 0. Okay, 1 comma 0 indicates what, sir? Where? What is the resistance value? R is equal to infinite. R is equal to infinite. In the idea purida, sir? R is equal to 0 na பெரிய circle. Okay, r is equal to 1 na circle இது போல வருது. R increase ஆக circle smaller ஆகுது. Now what will happen if r is equal to 0.5? Okay, then that doubt arises. Okay, once if r is equal to 0.5, then it goes like this. Okay, so when r is equal to 0.5, then that should be the center point like this. Center point will be something like this, and then Yes, sir. Something, it will come something like this. Okay, when R is equal to, when this is what, when R is equal to 0.5, R, the value that is in between what, 0 to 1. I can, for simplicity, I can say this is R is equal to 0.5. When R is equal to 0.5, you'll get this circle, sir. You'll get this circle. Then what will happen if R is in between 0 and 0.5? Then the circle will come like this. Okay, when R is 0.1, then it will come closer to R is equal to 0.